Hey everyone, it's Alexander, the real Mr. Robinson, and this is my review for The Farewell, which was a movie that premiered at Sundance, is directed by Lulu Wang, and stars Awkwafina as a woman who lives in New York City, as she and her family find out that her grandmother in China has just been struck with cancer, and they pretty much all head to China to try to spend the last few weeks or however long she has to live before she actually dies. So I really didn't know that much about this movie going into it. I've seen snippets of the trailers on Instagram because they keep advertising that movie on Instagram, but I never actually saw a full trailer. So I just went into this movie going, okay, it's a slice of life movie with Awkwafina. I've liked Awkwafina in a couple things I've seen, but it should be interesting. And because I saw snippets of the trailer and not the whole thing, I had no idea about this other plot element, which was the relatives are not telling the grandmother that she has cancer. And that's very interesting because not only does it help make the movie feel more human and down to earth and a little more tense considering all the relationships these characters have with each other, but it also makes it very distinctive as well. This is a movie that when you watch the opening and closing credits, there's also Chinese translations. So this movie is very much a Chinese movie as much as it is an American film. In fact, this movie is actually more of a Chinese movie than it is an American film, even though you have somebody like Awkwafina in the lead role, who I should just say right now is terrific in this movie. She gives a very great performance. And the most impressive thing about this movie is that 80%, if not more, of this movie is in Chinese, meaning there are subtitles, so you're gonna have to read through this movie. But again, it just makes the movie that more distinctive and pretty unique in its own way. According to Wikipedia, it is categorized as an American comedy drama, so I guess it's an American movie, but 80% of it is in Chinese. Whatever. The point is, it's just a very interesting movie, and it's great all around. The other cast members are terrific as well, and it's also a very natural movie. One of the things that really frustrated me when watching it is, why aren't the relatives telling the grandmother that she has cancer? Because I would not want that to happen at all. If I got struck with the disease, I don't want anybody to hide that from me. But as you watch the movie and it goes on, you really understand the reasoning why they keep this secret from her. And it leads to some very emotional moments. And it just makes all these characters feel very human. By the time you get to the end of the movie and its big statement, you go, okay, I get it. Even though they say several times in this movie that Chinese families often lie about these kinds of things, you can kind of see why they do that. And it just left me with a happy feeling in the end. Even though it's a movie about a family coming together in the face of death, it did leave me feeling good in the end. So definitely give the movie props for that. So there's actually not much I have to say about this movie. If I had one complaint, and maybe this is the ignorant American side of me, but throughout most of this movie, a lot of the characters keep telling Awkwafina that her Chinese is not very good, or she can't afford to live in China because of her Chinese. And I'm just watching the movie going, maybe I don't know that much about the Chinese language to know, but she doesn't look like she's struggling with Chinese. I mean, 80% of her dialogue is in Chinese already, so she's obviously doing a much better job than I am. That was just something that bugged me, but again, it just could be me not understanding the Chinese language. And then there are a few points where the score got a little bit too much, almost to a point where it just didn't really fit the tone of the movie, but outside of that, this is currently in the running as one of my favorite movies of the year. It's got great performances all across the board, especially from Awkwafina, who I was worried at first was just going to be the female Ken Jeong, where she's only there for comic relief. But with this movie here, it proves that she has range. And I'm very curious and excited to see her in Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings. So yeah, this movie's absolutely worth seeing in your lifetime. It's original, it's heartfelt, it feels very natural. It's just one of those slice of life movies, kind of like what you would see from Richard Linklater, except this movie is very much rooted in Chinese culture. So yeah, highly recommend this. And there you go, that's my review for The Farewell. And now I want to know what you guys think about the movie. If you've seen it, what did you think? Whether it's good or bad, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, I hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and of course leave a comment. Don't forget to support my Patreon page, follow me on social media, and until next time, this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there's only one.